Lisa's got some stories from the Howard 100 newsroom. Lisa is busy being a reporter. Lisa, what do you have for us?
Lisa G takes shits at work.
All right, so remember, I think it was yesterday, Gary came in here and said the guy at the parking garage busts his balls all the time.
Right.
Well, I went down there to meet him and to talk to him.
Right.
So I said to him, John, why do you make fun of Gary? He says, because he's easy to bother. Anytime I see him, I just break his balls from whatever happens on the show. Did you see Edie Falco's pitch?
Yeah, he's pretty consumed with Gary's pitch. By the way, I should play you. More reports have come out about Gary's pitch.
It's not dying?
No, it's not dying at all.
It won't die.
No, it's become a thing. It's become like now the announcers go, oh, that's a Baba Booey. You know, it's when you throw the pitch like a girl.
That's crazy.
Gary wants to kill me.
Yeah, Artie just bummed Gary out bad.
I did, and I'm sorry, Gary. I'm just busting balls.
What did he do?
I don't want to go into it.
Oh, it's good.
All right, you know, Artie likes that song by Anne Murray, Dreamin'.
Yeah.
I admit it, and it's kind of a gay song, but I admit it. Dreaming.
So on Artie's iPod, the Anne Murray's picture comes up. The artwork from the album comes up when you play Dreamin'. But so Artie changed it, and it's a picture of Gary pitching.
I know. He just showed it to me. So you showed it to Gary?
But you know how...
And Artie was like laughing for a way long time at the joke, and Gary got upset and left.
Well, you know why I was laughing more? You just saw the picture, but if you hear it with this song, because I had my headset...
That just goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
Well, Howard, I have an announcement.
Yeah.
I can't get a major league team to let me throw a pitch out because everyone thinks I'm a dirtbag. I swear to God that they just don't want anything to do with me.
Right.
But the Trenton Thunder, who are a minor league team in Trenton, New Jersey, the guy said you can throw the first pitch out. So, you know, it's not as much pressure as Gary, and I admit that. But if you want to film it, I'll throw the first pitch
Absolutely.
out. I'll put my money where my mouth is.
Is it the same distance from the mound?
It's regulation.
Yeah, it's 60 feet 6 inches.
All right. Well, maybe you'll crack under the pressure.
I might. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is.
All right. Here we go.
All I can guarantee.
What is that?
Howard, it's totally not the same.
It isn't. I know, Gary, and I said that.
Artie doesn't give a shit about Trenton. He loves the Yankees, and Yankee Stadium is like church to him. And if he had to stay at Yankee Stadium, he'd probably still make the pitch. But throwing a ball at Trenton is meaningless.
You know what? He knows I'm going to be way better, and he's pissed.
Why is it meaningless? I understand this. Artie admits it's less pressure for him, but this is the closest he can come.
It's about where it takes place and what it means to you.
I see.
No. There's pressure on me now, Gary. Listen. You fucked up, and look what I did. I acted like the biggest asshole on the planet. There's pressure on me, man. I mean,
it really isn't. It's not Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, but you know, Yankee Stadium doesn't exist anymore.
I got a way to solve this. A pitch-off between Artie and Gary at this game.
Okay.
You each throw a strike.
I'm glad to do it.
Oh, now that's a good idea.
There you go. Now it's an even playing field.
It's on.
Gary, there's no pressure.
Even playing field. Now it's an even playing field. You should be able to throw the strike if there's no pressure.
Gary, if there's no pressure...
Yeah.
You should do fine.
Right. Should be a slam dunk.
What are you, a big Thunder fan?
It's not the same pressure for Artie that it was for me. So the comparison...
So what about Fred's idea that if you both throw...
The point is that Artie should throw the first pitch out at Yankee Stadium.
Well,
Yankee
maybe
Stadium,
until that happens.
Yankee Stadium doesn't exist anymore. There's that shit fucking pussy field they built next to it. So I can't do it. But come on, Gorilla. We in Manila. Come on, Gorilla. This is the thriller.
Dude. Gary. Fred's point. That isn't a bad way to redeem yourself.
It's a good way to settle the argument. If you can, I mean, here's the deal.
You and Uncle Tom, you ain't shit.
I understand there's a lot of pressure.
When the show's over, then I'll talk.
It's over, Gary.
Go ahead.
It should have been over a week ago.
Believe me, it's over. It's over. I'll be working construction in 2 weeks. Go fuck yourself.
Gary.
Oh, you think they'll have your back?
Oh, yeah, they will. But I'll still be able to throw like a dude. Oh. You work in construction. We need you to swing a hammer so you can hit an umpire by mistake.
Bring your Anne Murray CD with you, douchebag.
Yeah, and I'll show them your picture. Oh, God.
All right,
Come on, Gorilla.
The point is, if I were going to do this again and I were going to redeem myself, I'd do it in a place by myself, like... You know, that means something.
But wouldn't that prove that you have the same ability as Artie? I mean, I understand why you say...
I can go throw a pitch and anywhere. I don't need to do it with Artie.
But that's a quick way to kind of shut him up a little bit. If you pitch a strike, too.
Shut me up!
Whatever.
Listen, Gary, what about this? The Trenton Thunder game, it's not me, it's you versus Valerie Bertinelli.
All right. Well, there you go. Gary's not interested in pitching.
I think that would solve the problem because I understand the pressure that he had at Shea Stadium, and I'd love Citi Field or whatever the fuck it is.
Shea Stadium.
I'm not in a contest with Artie, nor am I tied to Artie. So if I do this, I'll do it on my own. I don't need.
But you're knocking his. But you're knocking his thing. It's like so now you can prove that you're as good as him.
Whatever.
All right. It's enough of that. The man has a piece of wood in his penis.
Wow.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what? I'm so uncomfortable today. It's the worst fucking day ever.
Really?
What's going on?
You know what? It doesn't hurt anymore, but I'm telling you, what time is it? 7:15? I've already peed 6 times.
It's time to talk about your gay pitch.
Gary.
Oh, man.
Let me get off the gay pitch for a second, okay? Gary.
Yeah.
So you went and you had this procedure.
Right.
They got rid of your kidney stone.
Right.
They put, and after the procedure, they put a piece of
It's a stent. It's
a stent. It's plastic
something.
up your penis so that you'll keep the opening from
Right.
getting.
And it's been uncomfortable. I've almost. Well,
Why are you peeing so much? Are you drinking a lot of water?
well, I have to drink a lot of water, but I'm not peeing a lot. I'm just peeing often.
You know what it is? The stent, the guy explained it. It sort of makes you feel like you want to go all the time.
So there's an urgency feeling, but not necessarily you really have to.
Like I got in the car this morning, and as I was walking down the block from the garage, I could barely get here. And then I've gone at least 6 times this morning.
Wow.
How much longer do you have to keep that thing in your penis?
I'm taking it out a week from tomorrow.
A week from tomorrow, you got to go through this?
Yeah.
Is it going to get any better or is it just going to be horrible?
This is a little new territory for me.
But did you ask your doctor? Are you going to be suffering like this for the entire week?
I don't know. I'm going to call him today, or I'll email him today. Nobody gave me any indication that this would be going on.
So when you say uncomfortable, it stings?
No, the stinging seems to have gone away. I just feel like you know when you have to pee really bad?
Yeah.
It's constant. Like I already can get up again. I just came back while you were having this conversation, and I probably can get up and go again.
You know, I was talking to my buddy Pat about these kidney stones, and he was saying to me, too, it's a matter of hydration. Do you drink a lot of water?
All I drink is water.
Really?
I don't drink any soda. I stopped drinking iced tea. I drink water like crazy, Howard.
You're
but
talking
it
about...
took years to make this stone. He had really bad habits.
Well, it's like an oyster.
I've never been a soda drinker ever, and I've always been a big water drinker, so that's never been the issue.
Wow. Well, all right.
But it's the chocolate, the Tums, whatever else he was doing for years.
I think the Tums did this guy in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean...
my grandfather used to eat Tums all the time, but he was eating so many Tums, and Tums is loaded, I think, with calcium.
Yeah.
And I think calcium leads to these deposits.
Well, the stones are made of calcium. That's what they're made of.
Jeez, these stones sound scary, man. Like, even I've now changed my diet.
That's
And
scary.
you didn't have a problem.
I don't have a problem. I'm so afraid of it.
It is. It's a scary thing to get because sometimes, I don't know if it's true, but it could be hereditary. You just get them anyway. You know, I don't
You might have a...
No, Robin? No.
No.
It's not hereditary?
No.
All
How
right.
could a stone be hereditary?
But could you have a predisposition?
All of a sudden, your grandfather put a stone in you?
No.
My Western medicine doctor says it can be hereditary,
Sure.
but Robin
They
knows
say
better.
everything's hereditary. Heart disease, everything.
You just made me
Disease
feel...
is hereditary.
No,
if
it's
you have
not.
a bad heart.
What? Cholesterol's hereditary, Robin.
No,
No.
you have to eat that.
What you're missing is that, don't you agree, that there are people with family histories...
That's right. They could have a proclivity, but they have to
Right.
eat and live the way that
That's
it
right.
would make that thing evidence in their lives.
Like
I haven't eaten with my family since I was 20 years old.
if your father and your grandfather all had this condition of kidney stones, you would have to be extra careful. It's like women who have breast cancer in their
Right.
family have to be extra careful and extra diligent about checking their breasts, getting mammograms, because chances are they might get it.
Explain a guy who's never smoked and gets lung cancer. Like, I mean, nothing's
There are
hereditary.
environmental conditions, too, that can cause that. Again, you might have a propensity for something.
Right.
Doesn't mean you're going to get it just because of that. It means if you contribute to it by living the same way as the other people who got it, you will, too.
But you could get it anyway, even if you don't live that way.
No, nobody's getting anything anyway. We're living in a stress-filled society, bombarded with pollution, Artie.
All right.
Did your dad have kidney stones?
Oh, but my mom had them forever.
She did?
Yeah, constantly.
So that's where you get it.
She's in and out all the time.
With kidney stones?
Yeah.
So there you go. He's got it in his family history, and then on top of that, he's eating crappy.
He has a very bad diet.
Does your mom have a bad diet?
I don't know. I mean, now she does.
You don't know. Now she does. Now you don't know what she eats.
And I want to say to everyone who called the wrap-up show yesterday, too, I have something that's hereditary in my family. Being really loud and interrupting great...
Hey, how's it going? No, I'm good. How you doing?
Pretty good, man.
All right. Oh, wait. We going too quick for you?
Nah, it's all right.
You getting my good side?
Yeah, I'm getting your good
all
side,
right.
for sure.
Look at his camera, Todd, and look at ours.
I know.
You know? And Howard's the one that don't like to be filmed. And he's got mega cameras. Where am I going?
Right this way.
Right this way?
It's been a while, huh?
Oh, this is the green room. All right. All right.
Today's kind of a big show. Andrew Dice Clay returns to our show after an 8 or 9 year absence.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
And there should be some fireworks because I went over and read what he said about me last night.
All right, so we got the whole transcript and everything?
Yeah, I mean, I can't play it for you. And I was reminded that he was calling me up and calling me rat boy and had real problems with me.
See, I don't even remember. I just know we haven't spoken to him in all this time.
Here's my question. Will Dice be fat? That's number one. Number two, will it turn into an ugly scream fest where Dice will leave and I'll just be more pissed off?
Why don't we just shoot for that?
Here's the only inside information.
Will he be bald?
Here's the only inside information I have. 2 comedians, one you know very well, 2 real funny guys who I know, Jim Florentine and Jim Norton, open for Dice on a regular basis.
Oh, yeah?
Florentine still opens for him sometimes, and Florentine... I feels that Dice feels bad about it. I think that's what he gets from it, and would like to make up. So I don't know if he's going to come out guns a-blazing type of thing.
Artie's absolutely correct. I mean, when Dice and I were talking, he really wants to put this behind him.
I would like to, too, but I wonder if we really can.
But he's not coming in to fight.
Right.
But that doesn't mean he can't be engaged in a fight.
I think anything ticks him off.
I'm saying he's not looking... Right,
and anything ticks me off, so it's very volatile.
Right, he's not looking for confrontation, but he does... You know, both of you guys have short fuses if you get pushed in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, I did get pushed in. You know, I went back and read the transcripts, but
It made you mad all over again?
Well, yeah, it did. It was kind of like, you know, it was kind of crappy.
That's what happened.
I came in there, I was really good, and Howard is soft, and he didn't do a good interview. He was weak, and I'm not weak. I'm always doing a good appearance. And I was like, you know, it wasn't such a great appearance, dude. It wasn't my fault.
It almost
Don't blame me. Don't start attacking that I'm weak and that I'm wimpy.
Take a little responsibility.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
It almost sounds like he wanted publicity. That statement is so blatant and like crazy.
And then he was mad because I went right to the phones, and I'm like, well, excuse me, you know, it was kind of bombing.
It wasn't working,
and I thought maybe the listeners could charge you up. I don't know.
What are you going to the fucking phones for?
How you doing? Andrew Dice Clay here at the Howard Stern Show. I haven't seen Howard, I don't know, 9 or 10 years. You know, we had a little tiff that turned into a whole thing, and I don't know what's going to happen today. You know, I'll go whatever way he wants to go. That's who I am.
Are you coming into this interview with bad feelings towards Howard, or are you...
No, I'm actually looking forward to really seeing him. You know, it's, even though I didn't talk to him for many years, I always considered him a friend. And that's what happens sometimes. Friends fight, and we're both really stubborn, you know, and we both have a lot of the same, you know, kind of fight in us, you know, when we do argue. We both got that heart that nobody likes to give. So, no, I'm looking forward to seeing him.
All right, guys, we'll see what happens.
Okay, we will see what happens. Now get away.
Oh! All right, here he is. This is Dice Clay. Hasn't been on our show in 8 years. There he is, Andrew Dice Clay.
Well, that's the same guy I remember.
The same guy I remember. Put on some headphones, Dice, so we can talk.
He's looking around. He doesn't know what it is.
He's confused because this is a new
where's
studio.
the mic?
It's on your headphone.
There it is. It's on your headphones.
Just talk.
This is unreal.
Isn't this nice?
Let me look around a minute here.
Take a look at our new
Holy
studios.
mackerel. I don't know you guys. You should really leave.
That's Artie.
What's up?
This is amazing. Forget about Artie. I'm not here for him.
Right.
He seems very nice. and I'm sure he's a good friend of yours.
Yes.
But I don't know him yet. Robin, it's great to see you.
It's good to see you.
I can't believe, because I haven't seen you.
Yes. Now, how many years has it been, Dice?
It's about 10 years.
10?
About 10 years.
Is that right?
But I've been listening.
Oh, good. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
See, I
that's
never
a big-
stopped listening.
Well, thank
Somebody
you.
told us it was 97, so that's what we were saying.
96.
Yeah.
I thought it was like 95. It's a long time.
Take
That's
a seat
what I'm
and
getting.
relax. Dice, before we get into our particular situation, because I'm sure the
Look at
audience
this.
is curious after
Is
10
this
years.
uncomfortable enough?
The couch?
Yeah.
I think it's way more comfortable than the
Then
last
the
one.
last one, yeah.
But it's been a while, and a lot of things have changed in your life. Forget about us for a second.
Okay.
I want to talk to you about your life. No longer married.
No longer married.
Oh.
That was the love of your life.
Yeah, it was.
What happened?
You do have a lot of feuds.
You want to get into that right away?
Sure, why not? Because what if
'cause
we...
we have a
you want to
fight.
know something?
When we get
I mean,
into
just,
our thing,
No, but
it
let me
could end
just-
the whole interview.
No,
so
no,
let's
it won't.
find out
It
a few
won't.
things.
Don't worry about
All
that.
right.
That's not what I came here for.
Right.
When I call, I will say I'm the one that called Gary. I'm going to just say it out.
Okay.
That you didn't call me, come to the show. It got to the point, we age, we get older, different things go on in our lives. And I would listen to you. That's why I brought that up.
Right.
That even though we fought and we had terrible fights.
Yeah.
That there I am, when I go to the gym in the morning, running my errands, whatever, I'm listening to Howard anyway and enjoying it.
Right.
And I'm going, this is screwed up that I don't talk to this guy. And years went by.
Yes.
And, when I did, end the marriage, which is an awful thing, which is also something I spoke to Gary about, how, in a way, our lives have really paralleled between controversy and what you do and what I do as performers.
Yes.
And what happened with our marriages. It just got to the point where I said, I'm going to call. I've actually tried to call before. I actually tried calling when you were still at the other place.
By the way, they might have asked me, and I might have said I'm not interested.
I don't know.
Howard.
Yeah.
I do remember getting a call from management, and I do remember bringing it up to you, and we discussed it, and you were just sort of still so bummed out. You're like, no, I just don't want to do it.
Yeah, it wasn't time, and that's okay.
Okay.
But I thought when you came here, I thought it was another breakthrough move. I thought it was a great move.
Thank you.
And I'm also the type of person that likes to break down walls, and there are things I'll get into. I know what you're going through now a little.
Right.
But it got to the point I said, you know what? Our fight, what ended our relationship, what ended our marriages, maybe. I don't know about you, but I know me, is other people getting in between that relationship. And I have a certain rule, like with marriage, let's say, that anybody that would ever come between you and your family or you and your wife, should not be part of your life anymore.
Now, I didn't
but I'm just saying,
I didn't experience that with my wife, but I'm just wondering, in your life, who was it that came between you?
well, a lot of people.
Hot tub?
No, not hot tub. That's
club
funny.
soda?
Hot tub. Wait, that's funny when you hot tub.
Club soda?
No, it wasn't club soda either. It was
Family like parents?
No, different friends that would come into our life that really weren't friends and
Poisoned your wife against you?
poisoned the relationship. And I used
Said
to
things about you that weren't true?
yes.
Said stuff like, "Hey, Dice is out
Well,
there."
I'm not going to make quotes because I still
Right.
go through a lot of bullshit with the
Ex.
with the attorneys and
Right.
with the ex.
Are you still into that?
But I used to talk to her a lot and say, why is, let's say, this person still in our home after the problem they caused?
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't get that person out of your life. I mean, sometimes it's got to be like that. So when it came...
So you were still in love with
But-
your wife, is what you're saying.
I was in love with her all the way to the end.
All the way to the end,
Yeah.
but she had had enough of your bringing up these other people. She disagreed with you. And
I
it was too
feel
much.
she had a lot of animosity towards me.
Is she remarried now?
No,
And she's single still?
as far as I know.
You single still, or you got a girlfriend?
No, I'm going through a whole thing with her. We were engaged, now we're going out again.
You're back
things
to going
happen.
out?
Right, yeah.
Just to get back to what I was saying before about relationships.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting to with you. That when, I said that thing about my wife, never let anybody get between you.
Right.
Okay?
It's still cryptic, by the way. I don't understand exactly what happened there. That someone could get
it could
between you.
be a friend. It could even be a family member.
Right.
If my mother would say the wrong thing to my wife,
You'd stick up for your wife.
I wasn't the mama's boy and say, well, my mother's right. I would destroy my mother for it.
Right.
That was actually one time
my parents came to L.A. and they wound up leaving the next day because I couldn't believe the things that she would say to my wife. And I had a huge fight, and they left.
Wow.
And I didn't care because, you know, once you're married, that's who you're in bed with.
Right.
You're in bed with that person. You have children with that person.
You see every day.
That, you know, and I'm a family guy that way.
Right.
Now, who was between you and Howard, though?
No, but let me just say this.
Hot Tub
so
Johnny.
when it came to you, without fight, and I thought about it, and it took a long time. You know, you get maybe a little smarter, a little more mature.
Right.
Nobody really changes.
Right.
I haven't changed.
Right.
You know, I said, it wasn't even us. It's what came between us.
Right.
Now, I know you talked about, our fight,
Yes.
like what happened, and you're not even really that sure. But I remember what happened.
Tell me from your side what happened, and I went back and researched and read why I got angry. But tell me from your side what happened.
All right. The very last time I came into studio,
right,
I was excited about coming into studio because I used to call him from L.A. a lot.
Right.
All right. So coming into studio was always exciting because whether we fought, whether we had that, even now we got that. We just know when to talk, when not. We have the chemistry.
Okay.
All right. But I was in the studio just a couple minutes, and you went right to the phones.
Yes.
And I even said to you, I said, what are you going to the phones for? I haven't seen you in a long time.
Everyone's excited. The Dice Man is here. There's tons of phone calls coming in. Let's go over and see. People are anxious to speak to you. Dice is
We're
here.
going right to the phones.
You don't want to do that?
I don't care. It
All
don't
right.
make no difference to me.
We'll come back to the interview. We'll go back and forth on all this, all
Look,
right?
if that's what you want to do, it's your show.
Tim, you're on the air.
Oh, how'd you know it was Tim before you even said
Because on the
anything?
computer it says line 2 Tim
you
for
got
Dice.
a computer. I forgot.
Yeah, I got a
What's going
computer.
on in the
We're
world?
high tech now.
Yeah, we're high tech, dude.
But already, this Tim sounds like me. I don't even know if I want to talk to him. For me, I think this might be an impression of me.
All right, go ahead.
This
Talk
might
to
be
Dice.
a setup. I don't know.
No, it's no setup. But
Guys, I heard you just went on vacation. Is that true?
Wrong.
Wrong?
Where'd I go on vacation?
Somewhere in another country. I heard you're a homo.
What?
Faggot.
What?
Hey, stupid ass, hang up the phone. You had your 6 seconds of fame. Goodbye.
I apologize about that.
You see what you do to me right off the
I thought it'd
bat.
be nice to take a phone call.
Wow. What the heck was that?
And they were like some shit calls, some jerk off that sued for like $10,000. Asshole callers.
Right.
And I'm like there, and I want to hang with you and talk to you and have fun with you on the air. Okay. So now what happens is I get a call from
Chauncey.
Okay,
From
you know what?
Steppin'
All
Out.
right, so
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking.
Really?
Yes.
So he asked me on the phone. He goes, "So what was it like to be in the studio with Howard?" And I said, "To be honest, I felt he was a little weak." And he goes, "What do you mean?" I go, "Well, I went into the studio, and he went right to the phones, and I didn't know why."
Right.
And then he did the interview, and that's what I said, because I remember the things I say. And then what happened is I was shooting the show for UPN called Hits at the time. And I got the radio on, and you're just going nuts about me.
So the Chauncey from Steppin' Out interviewed Dice Clay.
Yes.
Now, you know how I felt about Dice's last appearance privately. I talked to you about it,
Right.
and I thought it was rather weak, and I thought, and probably the reasons I thought, when Dice came on the show, he hadn't been on the show in a long time. We kept him off a couple of times because I kind of felt he's gotten real pussy whipped and doesn't talk about stuff. So it's kind of funny. Chauncey interviewed him, and Dice is slamming me, saying I've lost it. That I'm not daring. God, Dice has lost it. His TV show sucks. His last movie sucked. His previous TV show sucked. His HBO special sucked. And I'm there trying to resuscitate the guy, and he's bad-mouthing me, blaming it on me, that I've lost it.
And I'm going, now, I know this guy Chauncey called you because you spoke about it, but I don't know what he said to you.
Right.
So I call into Gary, and I go, okay, when's this war going to happen?
Right.
And I think it was that Friday that what was funny is I showered for it. I got up because, it's 3 hours earlier. I go to my guest house because I know we're going to be yelling.
Yeah.
I know when we fight, this isn't going to be, my kids will be, going, what's going on here?
Right. It's going to sound like World War III. Yeah.
So I go to the guest house and I call in and, and you went off on me. And you know what? You got the louder mic.
Of course.
And you beat the shit out of me.
Right.
I got mad. I went on a TV show. I said things. You went off a little. And then we never spoke again.
Right.
So my point is, we fought about what somebody said to him. What I just said to you wasn't even that bad.
Right.
And if
What
we would have
happened-
hung out after that show, and I said, what'd you go to the phone for? It would have been done at that moment.
What happened for me was, and I'll be up front. I had felt like maybe 1 or 2 appearances where you'd come in previously, they hadn't gone that well. And I said to Gary, listen, for whatever reason, I said in the meeting, I said, listen, Dice is a friend of this show. He's done a million great appearances. I said, let's hold off on some appearances for a while. Maybe we have to build up a wealth of things that happen in Dice's life. And he comes in because they do deal with reality.
Well, now I got a wealth, believe me.
Well, I bet.
Believe me, you can't begin to fucking understand what's going on.
So wait, so I said to Gary, he said, well, Dice wants to come in and stuff. I said, I'm never going to tell Dice no, so bring him in. And you came in, and I don't know, for whatever reason, I sensed we weren't gelling. And I said, you know, sometimes it's great when the audience gets in on these phone calls.
See, but I never knew that.
Right. Well, that was, you know, I'm trying to keep a show going and keep it interesting and maybe offer you something that I don't have that day. Maybe there's an angle or something. We'll go to the phones. I do that sometimes. First thing I do when I sign on sometimes, I go right to the phones because there's a certain
you got
energy.
nothing to say at that moment. All right, I get it.
Or I have something planned, but I want to do it at 8 o'clock or whatever. It just seemed like the right thing to do for me. So for whatever reason, I felt the appearance didn't go that great. Maybe it was me going to the phones. Maybe it was you were off or I was off.
You know what? I could have been off because I'm going to tell you. I know, I mean, me and my wife broke up, it was, 3.5 years ago. But for many years, I was going through a lot of turmoil at home.
Right.
And I tried to straighten it out. And that's a big part of, what went on in my career because I'm the type of guy, if I'm not happy at home, and I was looking to take on the world. We're very similar in that way. Right. You know that.
You're very competitive.
Yeah,
and you
I'm
want
competitive,
to be successful.
and I love doing what I do, and I feel there is nobody that could come close to what I do.
Right.
Well, for my part, I remember, you were going through a transition even in your career.
No, but my career was going up. But when you're fighting at home.
But you were changing. You were, trying to do that whole TV mainstreaming thing.
I was doing what had to be done to pay the bills. That's how I looked at it.
I understand that, but I'm saying we kind of were lost in the who is Dice.
Yeah, and when I saw guys come along like Eminem, for instance, I love Eminem.
Right.
And I saw his controversy. I said, you know what? They're writing the same articles about this guy. They're just taking my name out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, I even said to Robin, when you were doing Hits, the television show, I was confused by the image, and I have to say, Robin reminds me of something. We used to even talk to Robin about it, and the guys would say, I'm not sure where Dice is at right now, because you would come in sometimes, and you were kind of caught between two worlds.
Well, to me, it was a way of staying home, being with my kids. That's important to me.
Whatever you do in your career is fine.
But what you
I
were
was
thinking.
lost. So the fact of the matter is, after the interview, I said to Gary, gee, that appearance didn't go so well.
Okay.
I just chalked it up. Hey, it didn't go great.
But
not every show is. Not every show's your greatest.
Right. And I wasn't going to go on the air and say the show didn't go great. Hey, look, for whatever reason, it didn't go great. Then I read the article, and the article blames me for you said, hey, the appearance was bad, and you were, you're doing some bravado, and you said, hey, I'm great. Meaning you, and Stern is weak. I've got the quotes here. Stern is weak. He's not on his game.
angry.
He's toned down. You were angry about the appearance, and you were angry with me. And I said, gee, that's such a sucky thing for Dice to do to me. Dice is blaming me because he had a bad appearance. I'll take some responsibility, but to publicly go and do that after all the years of great, you know me, I got a short fuse, and I got enough guys attacking me.
And I got a short fuse, and I get attacked all the time. That's what I'm talking about.
So I saw this public attack on me, and I said, you know what? Screw this. You want to say?
No, you went off.
I went off. I went nuts.
But and you know how to push the buttons like I know how to push buttons. He's not funny anymore.
Well,
he's not.
You pushed the wrong one when you said he's done. He's washed up or something. You sort of said he's over.
And I said he's over?
Yeah.
All right, you know what? I'm not going to say I didn't say that because I was probably really mad and trying to piss him off.
No, I read it.
And then
I read it recently because I had already forgotten about it.
All right, it's a stupid article in a shit magazine.
Right, but okay, but you know me, I react to everything.
From a little fat guy that's got no fucking life.
But he has a tape recorder and he does,
That's right. I don't give a shit.
And he's accurate.
But these guys, they know how to push buttons and they know They could feel when you got a short fuse, and when somebody's getting you right after something that went lousy, you're not going to come off and go, hey, Howard was wonderful.
So I guess I felt...
You get pissed off.
I felt my back was against the wall because now someone's challenging
a friend.
My friend Dice, who,
but
who's
we were
a guy I
going-
speak to off the air, which is rare for me. I mean, there's maybe 4 people I ever speak to off the air.
And with the house hunting, he was out of his mind because we'd pull up to a house. And
I wanted to kill him.
This was his real estate agent.
Yeah.
And me and Johnny are in the back of the car like the children.
Right.
And I'm filming. I'm constantly filming. He's going, shut the camera. Why are you filming? No, because I just like it. And now we'd get to a
Evidently,
house.
I was being pranked.
But this, no, it wasn't about being pranked. It was just really having a good time doing this.
A real reaction.
I loved it.
I had a great time, let me tell you.
This is my, no.
I know you were suffering.
I was having so much fun in those people's homes as Dice and Hot Tub ran through them.
But the beauty of it was, I wouldn't go in the house. If she pulled up to a house I didn't like, he'd look at me, very, business-like, and go, she'd go out to talk to the people, and he goes, why don't you go in the house? And I go, because I don't like the outside. He goes, but you didn't see the, how he could get,
Right.
but you didn't see the inside. I go, but if I don't like the outside, I don't care what the inside. Yeah, but this is my real estate person. Well, then tell your real estate person to find the house I like. And he goes, but it would be nice of you just that the other real estate person's here. Just walk through. And I go, I can't do it.
I'm pretty sure the relationship deteriorated after that.
No, it did.
It actually kind of did for me.
No, that was the fun
I'll be
part.
honest with you. I was kind of like, you know what? This guy's a pain in my ass.
Right, you were really pissed when he came in.
And then he finally was buying a house on Long Island.
The voodoo dolls.
And then he saw voodoo dolls in the house. The guy came back. Wait, I got to tell this.
It wasn't in the house.
I'm going to tell this.
It wasn't in the house.
It was in the lawyer's office.
All right, go ahead.
Oh, my goodness.
And then I'll tell you what you said it was.
But here, listen to this. So finally, after bringing him around from house to house, Ike bailed out, and the broker stuck with him.
Huh?
He's a wealthy guy. The broker figures, okay, come on, he's going to buy a house. Sure enough, they take him to a brand new, beautiful built home.
7,500 square feet, right?
Gorgeous.
A white brick house. On 4 acres in Laddington, Long Island.
Yes.
And the builders are being foreclosed. So they don't even really want their money.
Wow.
They actually want what was it, $950.
Right, $950,000.
$950,000. And the cheapest house on the block back then, this is 15 years ago, was $2.5 million.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was getting it for nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great deal for
All
him.
right, so now tell what happened.
All right, so he goes to the contract where they draw up the contract for the house.
Yeah.
He walks in, and the real estate broker starts calling me first. She goes,
no, it didn't happen right there.
No,
All right,
wait a second. First, she calls me beforehand. He's right. And she says to me, he's going to get out of the deal. I go, what do you want from me? Whatever he wants to do. She goes, he doesn't like the number of the house. I think there was a 69 or a 13
No, what happened was
something.
we went to the lawyer's office in Manhattan to do, like, the contract.
Like,
right?
you didn't like his phone number.
In his office, it was all dark brown, and I hate dark brown.
Listen to this.
No, listen to it. And it was small, and there were, like, what I would call these little voodoo dolls just lining, the shelves.
Right.
So I'm home at night that night, and it was funny, because back then I was living in an apartment on Nostrand Avenue in Brooklyn with my wife, where people would actually see me there and go, what are you doing here?
Right.
Didn't you just do Nassau Coliseum? But I loved living in Brooklyn. I didn't care.
See, he really didn't want to move to Long Island.
No, so I'm sitting in the kitchen. It's like De Niro, and I'm eating like this takeout Chinese, and she's going, what's the matter? I go, I can't take the house. And she goes, what? And I keep saying, I can't take the house. And she actually, what are you doing, Robert? I go, I can't take the house. And she goes, why? I go, because I went to the attorney, and now with these voodoo dolls on the wall, So she goes, if you don't like it, if you don't have a good feeling, Andrew, you got to have a good... And plus it had a staircase.
So the real estate... Wait a second.
I'll tell you what he did to me.
The real estate broker calls me up. She goes, you got to help me. I said, I don't want to be involved in this anymore. The guy's a fucking lunatic. I was out of my mind. I said, he's crazy. It's a beautiful house. I said, he was running up and down these houses with Hot Tub Johnny, with and laying on people's floors.
Yeah, hiding in the bathroom.
I mean, like the most juvenile stuff. I said,
jumping on the bed,
and
whatever.
I said,
we love to do that.
She goes, but you don't understand. She says, you got to talk to him. She goes, he went to the lawyer's office, and he's claiming there's voodoo dolls all over the place. I said, what is it? She goes, this gentleman, this lawyer, is a lovely man. He's traveled to Africa. He went and bought original African artifacts. They're wood carvings.
Right.
I say, you're kidding. I call him up.
Yeah, he
and
calls
I
me
said,
up.
Look,
No, he goes like this. It's African art. What are you, a fucking idiot? He goes, it's thousands of dollars of African art. And I'm going, I don't care what it is. It's voodoo dolls to me.
Out of my mind.
But do you know why he was really mad? See, he's a businessman.
Yes.
He goes like this. The next day, they got another $50,000 and sold the house. So they sold it for $1 million
Right.
because it was dirt cheap
Right.
for that area. You know, there were $8 million houses
like
on that.
Oh, yeah, it's
So
money
he
to
goes,
pay-
why didn't
free
you
money,
call
Artie.
me? I would have bought the fucking house.
It was,
And I go,
it was
who
the
was
steal.
thinking? I didn't want it.
It's the steal of a century. I mean, it was a great house.
That
I
house
bet you that
today-
house today is worth $10 million.
Yeah, maybe more.
Maybe more.
Maybe more.
Yeah. So,
But if I get a bit, and plus, my son was only like, he was a baby. He was 2 years old. It had a staircase that when you went to the top, it was one of those fancy things where you could see over into the media room. See, this is what I hate about the rich. They don't even call it a den.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's
a
the
media
room.
So what are you talking about? And so you could see over that way, or you could see over to the front door. And I looked at, I got afraid that, maybe he could fall. I'm safety conscious that way. So I'm like, fuck the house. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I'll find another house.
I realize now, listening to him, he just didn't want to buy a house.
Right,
He
he
wanted
No,
to
I did. I
remain
wound up buying one in Jersey.
And then you
but that
hated
was
that.
haunted.
Oh, that was the other thing. Your house was haunted.
You know what?
man.
Ask Happy Face. Ask anybody that was with me at the time.
Then he tells me the house is haunted. I said, you're insane.
Well,
This
he
is
did.
Nobody
crazy.
believes
He
me.
came to me off the air, and he said, I got to get, I love Dice as a guest, but I got to get him out of my life because he is really crazy.
Yeah, I said I can't take this. I'm changing my phone number. He's calling me. I can't get off the
Constant phone calls.
Constantly. Is there a feud with Pauly Shore now between you and
No,
Pauly Shore?
I got. That's an old feud.
What's going on there?
All right, this is. I started.
fight with
This is
Pauly
what
Shore?
happened.
How
All
do
right.
you fight with Pauly Shore? I mean, really?
Well, you know what? When me and my wife split up, what I started doing, because I am out of my mind, I started, as you know, I love to videotape.
Yes.
So I started filming myself.
Yes.
Which it was almost like therapy, because I think therapists suck. So I figured, when I'd get mad, I'd just talk to the camera. If I was in a good mood, I'd talk to the camera. Then I
Can we
started
have
making
those
it
tapes?
funny.
Yeah, I'd like to see those. Will
You
ever
will
do
be
any-
seeing it
You will.
soon.
What are you going to do
Anyway,
with those tapes?
I can't get into it.
It's very top secret.
It's sort of top secret
All
this
right.
week.
Okay, go
Maybe
ahead.
next week I could tell you
All
if
right.
we're still talking.
Right.
All right. So what happened is, so then I started filming over at the Comedy Store, and using the other comics and creating scenarios, and the comics just loved it. It was like I started creating what I called the show. Andrew Dice Clay, the show. Okay, and anything could happen in the show.
It's in a sense a reality show.
Yeah, it was what I'd call a reality com.
Okay.
Okay, so now what happened is my kids would come there with me.
How many kids you got? Two?
I got two boys.
Two
Max
boys.
and Dylan.
How old are they now?
11 and 15.
Right.
And they're
are
both.
are you going through terrible custody battles? Is that what's going on?
No, I'm not. I mean, I'm very, very close with my sons. I mean,
Are you living close by?
Yeah, well, one of them is with me,
Oh, okay.
and the other one's with me most of the time.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
How'd you work that
And
out?
well, it's just the way it is.
The kids
you know what I
love
mean?
being with you more?
Yeah.
And
You know
they're
what?
boys,
Like I said, I'm not
maybe
going to
they
get
need
you
their
know.
Right, you don't want to
I'm
jeopardize.
not saying anything about the ex. I'm not here to bash her. I
Right.
mean, I'm not saying she's not a good mother. I'm just saying.
Can you guys
that I think
communicate?
I'm a fantastic father, and that's it.
Can you and the mother
And-
communicate at all, but just for the good of the boys? Can you sit down and talk about what's good for the kids?
Well, that's rough.
That is.
Yeah, and
You
I
get
try.
into fights?
Well, I try.
Right.
That's all I could say.
That's right.
It's a bad situation.
It
that
was
way.
interesting that he said, I'm not
But-
going to say she's a bad mother, but I've got the kids.
No, I didn't say that. I said I'm a great father with them. And
right.
for the last 3.5 years, I mean, all I did was, really look to stay in town and be with them. And if I went out, I didn't look to be in the public eye at all.
Right.
I didn't look to even be on your show other than that one time, when
Right.
I thought I should.
You like being a father.
I would go out, make my living, and come home quickly just
Financially,
to
are you well off enough that you really don't need to work?
I'm pretty well off.
You're pretty well
Yeah.
off. Even after the divorce, that
Yeah.
had to wipe you out a little bit.
Well, you know, that's what divorce is.
Right.
You don't see me wearing a leather, do you?
No.
He's back to cotton.
I'm not even sure that's
back to
gold.
cotton.
Yeah, right.
No, it's not gold.
Right. So you have the kids and you go down to the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
And
So what we would do, they started being on film and and filming this stuff with me. What happened? One night, Paulie comes in. Now I'm looking at Paulie at the Comedy Store since he's 12 years old.
Right.
So he gives me a hard time about it. And he says, Dice, get your fucking kid out of the Comedy Store.
Oh.
Because
and this is, and my kid was right there, and it's my younger one.
Yep.
And at the time, he was 10, and I know Paulie's there his whole life. I go, so now I get in his face because now he cursed in front of my kid.
Right.
And I know that sounds funny coming from me, but I don't make it a habit.
Right.
They know what I do as a performer, but they know at home that's not what I'm about. And I get in his face, and I'm saying, Paulie, this could be very bad for you right now.
And you're thinking this is hypocritical because Paulie grew up at the Comedy
he grew up there. He's telling me,
how come this ain't on tape?
Yeah, he's telling me, the cops are going to come and close the Comedy Store. I'm going, if the cops see my kids with Dice, they're not closing anything down.
Right.
There were no cops. The SWAT team's not showing up at the Comedy Store to close you down because Dice is filming his kid beating up another comic,
right.
Which is funny, you know. So we had a little thing, and I went around saying, Paulie hates children.
And now are you at odds?
Yeah,
with
we
him?
made up.
Oh, you made up.
Yeah,
everything's fine.
Right.
All right.
Everything's fucking
but
beautiful.
there are no cameras. Paulie's
Only you
got
can
a
wind me up.
show,
I said I'm not going to get wound up.
videotaping.
No, because now I'm getting mad again over that.
Well, because that is insulting to you.
Yeah, How would you feel if somebody
Well,
said
your
something
kid's
about your
there,
kids
yeah.
right in front of you? It's like you
it would've
left
been
no
tough.
choice but
Right.
disassemble that person.
Yes, Gary.
While you're on it, I guess while we're talking feuds, you should probably ask about the Jay Moore feud.
Yeah, now what's going on with that? You feud with the comic Jay Moore as well, don't you?
Why would you want to make him more famous by feuding with him?
Well, he
why would you pay him any attention?
You know what? There's too much going on here to talk. We took care of that.
You're over? That's over?
Yeah, I haven't even heard of him since that day.
Well,
but I'll tell you something that did happen with that little jerk off, right?
Right.
Because he was on Asshole and Opie's show.
Right.
Right. See,
now that
this
was
is
show,
what this is what I was mad about.
Yes.
With you, because I had to do that show because I wasn't doing this show, so I had no choice.
Right.
And I actually, what happened was.
What was your impression of those two characters?
Well, you know what? Don't make me mad now. Not yet. Don't make me mad now with them. You know what I mean? Number one, actually, I think Anthony is, he's a talented guy. He should have just been a comic, in my opinion. Opie is a zero in the game of life.
Right.
In my opinion, he can't get on the air unless he's got a bottle of bourbon in his fucking hand. And if he ever stands toe-to-toe with me, he's going to know what I'm talking about.
So there was
He's
bad
going to have a
blood
fucking problem he can't handle.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. And I never liked him from the beginning because he was a cocksucker, and he's more insecure than any male I've ever met in my life. That's who he is. And they've been trying to... Let me tell you something. They had a show... See, you were on in the morning, which I wish I could have been on your show. Right. See, that was something I wanted to do. I'll just lay it out.
But the point is, you had to do shows. You're a comic. You would do their show and other shows. I had no problem with that.
It wasn't about that.
But I was getting bashed, I assume.
You don't know what was going on. No, I didn't bash you.
You didn't.
I would say to them, don't make me go on the other guy's show.
Right.
That's how I would do it. But what was going on at home, when Max hit 10 years old, my oldest son now, he said to me, he goes, Dad, why don't you do The Garden again? Because at that time they were airing a lot of HBO specials from The Garden.
Right.
So I said, Max, we're doing great. I'm headlining the Venetian in Vegas. We're doing great. I just don't do that kind of thing anymore.
Right.
So that night, I go to the Comedy Store, and, this producer that used to do the Comedy Awards, which I don't even think is happening anymore, never even invited me on the show. And when that show started, I was doing 20,000 seats a night. But because he didn't like me, he didn't even have me as a presenter, anything.
Right.
And so I go to the Comedy Store. This is the night Max goes, why don't you do The Garden again? I go to the Comedy Store, and I'm hanging out with this comic, Jay London. And that night, they were actually having the party for the Comedy Awards in the main room of the Comedy Store. So now this guy gets out of his car.
Jay Moore.
No, this tub of shit, George Slaughter,
Okay.
the producer of that show.
Yes.
This fat fuck who told my publicist, I told Dice it would never work with him. I never even met the guy, but I knew where he lived. He lived around the corner from me. I said, tell him to walk to the corner and see the house that could wrap around his 3 times. I go, tell him how it didn't work then, this cocksucker. Right? So anyway, I see this guy, and then I start talking to Jay again, and he goes, I could write a page on the look you just gave that guy. You know?
Right.
So now I go home, and I don't make my house a shrine to me. You know, I hang certain things up, and one of the things that were hung up was the one sheet from when I did the garden in '90.
Something you're proud of.
Yeah, a metal sheet that the New York Times ran.
Right.
So I'm angry about, you know, what's going on. I'm angry about what's going on in my relationship at the time with my wife. And I go in the bed, and I'm pacing around like an animal, you know, and she wakes up, and she goes, everything all right? You know, I go, count my words here. I go, in less than a year, I'm on stage at the Garden. I go, that's what I'm going to do. I owe it to the kids. Because it gets to the point you don't want to just talk about what you did.
You want to
know?
show them. You wanted to share your success with the kids.
Yeah,
and show
I wanted them to see it because I believe that you're the role model for your children. And if you show them how hard you work, that they're going to take that in their life. You know, and hopefully that they'll see what it takes to accomplish anything they want to get to. So I put a plan together, which is well, I got to record a new album, which I did.
See, if I had a father that worked as hard and made all that kind of money that you did, I would just sit back and go, you know what, let this guy work, and I'll just collect
That's why he's telling him to go do the garden, pick up some
That's
more
right,
money for me, Dad.
Keep going, Dad.
But I think you understand what I'm getting at. So I got to work on the whole thing, and now these guys, I hear this guy, Anthony, is just going on and on about me, and I did the show like one time, and it was amazing when I walked in. You want to talk about intimidation? This Opie. Oh, see, this is what I mean about anybody doing anything for money. A guy that would actually call himself Opie, other than his real name, to be on the air, like to say I'm an Opie. I mean, when you see an Opie, you're going asshole face. That's who you are, asshole face.
So things were not good between the two.
No.
Right.
This is so I start doing their show.
Yes.
And what happens with their show because nobody would go, no comics worth anything would really do that show because they wanted to be on your show.
Right.
It's like Letterman and Leno type of thing. Okay. Now, I didn't care because me and you were fighting. We weren't. What am I going to do? I got to go on their show.
Understood.
But their ratings start going up. And they even used to thank me for building their show because they had nobody doing their show.
Right.
They had Jay Moore. Who's Jay Moore? He's not even like a real person, Jay Moore. You know, who the fuck? Even now, he's had like 10 shows on TV. Nobody knows him still. There are just certain people that don't have that X factor, that just don't stand out.
They don't go over and
let me tell you something.
Yeah.
They used to go nuts about you.
Right.
They go out and fuck. This guy would call me at home. Fucking Stern this. Fucking. I go. You know what? No matter what you say, he's the biggest guy. You know, take it as a you should. Hands down, he's the biggest guy in radio ever. That's it. I go, if I hate his guts, makes no difference. He's the biggest guy. So why would you fuck with that?
Right.
Especially when you have the same boss.
Especially when you doing my whole act.
All right. All right. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
You know,
yeah.
which and a bad version of it.
Right.
Okay. So now what happens is I start doing the show. The audience, New York gets hot on me again, and to make a long story short, I do the Beacon Theater.
Right.
And the Garden in the same week. I did 13,000 people at the Garden the last night of the World Series. My wife brought the kids in, and what was funny is my youngest, you know, couldn't watch the show.
Right.
But just to feel the whole thing of coming to New York, Daddy's doing the Garden, and she allowed him to see when I walked on and the whole crowd got up. And my 10-year-old, Max, watched the entire show.
That's great.
You know, and, we let him do, like, what he felt.
Right.
He should do. And he's a pretty bright kid, so he knew when to walk out. And but, I mean, it was just an absolute, incredible moment in our lives. But what happened, what really made me angry with this guy, and because when anybody fucks with my kid, that's it for me, forever.
What happened?
That's just the way it is.
That's rightly so.
A day before the Garden, Max came on the radio with us.
I
okay?
Yeah.
And And they made a problem right off the bat. And I didn't know what the problem was. He's going, Anthony. And Anthony, the asshole, all he does is dice. You know, so it's like when I'm on the show, I'm talking to Dice. Hey, yeah, I'm over here now, you know, the whole thing. You know, so you can't even talk to him. He's in Diceville. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then I'm going, is there something, and I know there's something wrong with me. Believe me, I know the thing's wrong. But there's really something wrong with a guy that's not me and doesn't stop doing me. You know what I mean? So he's I'm over here. Now what happened was, I know you know Mancow from Chicago. I would say other than you, he's the only one, and it was about 8 years after I started doing your show that I became friends with.
Okay.
Now I know you and him got a thing, and you know,
I have
just
no
like
thing.
comics have things, but you know what I'm saying.
I'm just going to fuck his father's skull.
Stop it. Don't do that.
I'm going to dig up his father's grave and stick my dick in his skull.
You see, that's where I get mad at you, because that's
the
where
way I am.
But you shouldn't do that. You know what I mean?
You have your beef.
I know.
Do I stop you?
But that's. You know, that's
Howard
somebody's
loves
relative.
Opie. He let you rail on him.
All right.
Yeah.
Fuck Opie. No, but that's where I draw the line. All right, forget it.
Right,
I'm just saying, you know.
I don't draw that line.
Okay, I know you don't.
I don't know how you can draw a line. He has a legitimate beef.
Yeah,
when somebody sends a box of excrement to an 18-year-old girl who works for me.
Why we don't go into the Mancow thing yet.
Okay, all right. I'm just telling you. That's when I fuck your father's skull.
Stop it.
That's
do this
the way
when
it
I'm
is.
not here.
All right, go ahead.
Because he's my friend, just like you have
I don't care
friends.
whose friend you are.
All right.
That's one day I got to do my thing, man.
I know you got to
me
do
from
your
that.
thing.
You call me and you keep me on the phone for 3 hours, I got to fuck his father's skull.
There is something really wrong with, and there's something wrong with me. You want?
Right, go ahead.
So let me
anyway,
tell you.
Go ahead with your feud.
So what happens is, Opie goes. That Mancow said he's coming in and introducing you at the Garden.
Okay.
So we might not fucking do it. You know, now my kid is getting uncomfortable.
Yeah, who cares?
Okay?
Yeah.
You know, and I'm going, all right, let this go. Forget it. We know you're introducing me. Let it go. Don't fucking start with, only I couldn't curse. It was regular radio, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but they don't let it go.
Yeah,
okay?
Right.
So now, from that moment on, the minute he did that with my kid, he's dead to me. I'll fuck his skull.
Right.
Well, he's alive.
Well, there you go.
Okay?
Right.
This little fucking pansy.
Would you fuck his father's skull?
If I had to.
Well, then what are you talking about?
But I'd rather do it to him while he's awake. This little cocksucker, all right? Because they've been trying to goad me. See, I told Gary, they've been trying to get me to come on their little shit show, which I think the only people listening is their fucking family, if even them.
They weren't that successful.
And I won't go on their show.
Yes.
So and then they heard him. They went fucking ballistic when they heard him coming on here.
Right.
And they should, because
right.
they know what we can do to them.
Right.
They know what I could do to them, but I ain't building them another fucking show. Let them do it themselves.
You don't need to.
But anyway, the night of the Garden now, it was really bugging me what they did in front of my kid, and I just couldn't.
What did they do?
Well, they made the whole thing about Mancow. They made it really uncomfortable for the kid, and I'm trying to let him know in a nice way on the air, like, let this go.
Right.
Like, my kid's here.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they didn't let it go. So I came back after the rehearsal at the Garden. I came back to the show, and, you know, Club Soda was with me and Happy Face. And I said, all right, you know what? And they're getting out of the car. I go, I can handle this. Believe me. Right? And I go up to a show. This little asshole sitting there, and it was a day they had no guests.
Right.
You know, sometimes when you have guests, you could, team up. Nobody's sitting there, and they're going off about me.
Right.
We might not go. And I walk in there, right, and he's looking like a deer in headlights. Was shaking with the glass of wine in his hand, this asshole, right? And I lay into the guy,
Right.
And I tell him and I said, do you want to go right now? We might not come to the Garden. I go, let me ask you something. Do you really fucking think that the Garden is going to be packed tonight because of you little asshole? Do you really think they're coming out for you?
Yeah, get up on stage.
Because if that was the truth, why aren't you doing those places all over the country?
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Do you want to go toe-to-toe? Do you want to really see what you got? And Anthony tries to get in because he's the funny one, and I just shut him down.
Right.
That he's like, all right, he backed off in a
Was
second.
he doing the Dice impression?
No, he shut his fucking mouth in a second.
Right.
And now this guy, Opie, he's got nothing to say, of course.
Right. Is he a physically impressive man?
No, not at all. He's not physically impressive.
He's an Opie.
No,
But even if he was, it's like I say, I have been hit, so it wouldn't bother.
You're ready to go.
But it wasn't about fighting physically. I wanted to see what he had verbally.
Right.
Like if you want to go toe to toe, do it.
Yeah, let
Let's
the
see
other
what
guy
you got.
shut up. You
Because-
go head to head with me.
Because I claim I'm the best at that.
Okay.
There is nobody in stand-up that can do what I do.
Right.
You know, when I'm on stage entertaining and complimenting women and saying things like, hey, I think you're adorable. Me, I'd shoot so much cum in your fucking mouth, it would look like your fucking teeth are melting. You understand? If the FBI frisked me, they would find your asshole print on my cockhead because I know how to entertain.
Right.
You know, other comics want to come on, fuck you. You ever fucked it? They don't know how to do it. They don't make it colorful.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You have a way of communicating.
When I look at a girl and go, let me tell you something, sweetheart. If my cock and your cunt were to collide on impact, your pussy would need airbags and I would need a seatbelt wrapped around my big oval-shaped balls. Do you understand what that means?
Those are the
and I said that right to my girlfriend last night before I left town to come here. And she smiled. She appreciated the fucking compliment.
When you have energy like that and a delivery like that, it's intimidating. And you were saying to the guy, come on, let's go. Let's go.
But even on regular radio, even you didn't have to beat me. Well, maybe once in a while. But I can do that without the cursing.
Right.
This is great, the freedom to be able to do that.
Fabulous, right?
I can't even believe what I just said on the open air. You know,
and you know what? Compared to what we're playing every day, it wasn't even that shocking, which is great. So you could even go further if you wanted to.
Yeah, well,
if you wanted to
I didn't come
compliment
here.
a woman even further, you could do it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, like when I buy a Valentine's Day card, now you got to write something special to them.
Right.
You know, like like you're going to beat out a team of writers from Hallmark. What am I going to write? Number one, I can't find the card to my girlfriend that says what I feel unless it starts with, hey, fuck face. You know what I mean? I don't think Hallmark's going to write that. What am I going to write? I love the way you run your tongue around my asshole lips, the way you do. And then people are looking at me on stage like an asshole doesn't have lips.
Right.
Believe me, it does, Artie. Believe me.
So when you went
it don't have a tongue, but it's got little lips.
I hear you.
When you go toe-to-toe with this guy, so he really
didn't
had nothing.
go toe-to-toe. He sat there like an idiot.
Right.
Yeah.
The other guy,
And then they came
the
to
other
the garden.
comedian wasn't helping him, and he was alone.
They came to the garden to introduce me. They brought up a chick, and she took her tits out. Wait, there's something new.
Yeah, right.
But they had
Never
nothing
been
to
done
say.
before. Right.
And I came on, and the bottom line was that
killed.
my kids saw me destroy.
Right.
And
that's what you.
They should really look forward to my book. I think that'll help them.
That was the dream that you had, that you presented to your wife. You said, in a year, I will be at the garden.
And it was less. I did it in 8 months.
In 8 months.
And when I called my agent about it, this was beautiful. Dennis Offa, you might have met him like at Westbury. You wouldn't remember. Anyway, when I called him, the album came out that day.
Right.
And he calls me up and he's going, Dice, baby, what's the move, man? You know, because that's how he, it's the impression of him.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's not exactly. He always gets
Sounds
mail
like
when
a normal agent.
Yeah, he's going, I mean, what's the move? You know,
Right.
and I go, I think you should book the garden.
Yeah.
And he goes, the garden? Last time you did Westbury, you did half a house, man. Because, as you know, you came to Westbury. It's 3,500 seats.
That's right.
Half a house, like 1,500, whatever.
It's not a bad
So
crowd.
why do I believe I could do the garden?
Right.
So I said, look, I've been doing this radio show, and he's going, a radio show? The album's out for 4 hours, man.
Right.
Let's book the Beacon, see what happens. So I said, Dennis, the Beacon's going to sell out in 20 minutes. I'm telling you something. So he goes, well, then we'll move it. Or we'll add a second one. To make a long story, the Beacon sold out in 35 minutes. He didn't even understand it.
So your own agent doesn't really understand your
but he
appeal.
also didn't understand. Years ago when I did the arenas, what happened was the career moved so quickly. See, he was Rodney's agent.
Right.
And from all those specials, see, he's the only one I stuck with all these years, Dennis Offa.
Right.
Because no matter what I've gone through in my career,
He's been there for you.
Yeah, he's always believed that you know, I'm going to come back strong. And even when I call now, I'm like what I call coming out of retirement.
Right.
You know, and so...
Were you in retirement? Did you take a few years off?
I call it retirement because these last 3.5 years, I really had to be there for my boys. That's the bottom line.
And
It wasn't planned,
put
but
the
it just
career...
worked out.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about any stage
That's
if my kids
admirable.
aren't functioning right.
Right.
You know, and I just am
And
there
you went
for
through,
them.
You went through a divorce. You knew that was traumatic for the kids, and
Yeah,
you said,
I mean-
hey, I'm going to take care of my kids.
Yeah, and that's all I cared
That's
about.
it.
And I stayed with them, and you know, I'd go to
Are
like
the boys-
Vegas for a few nights, and that was it. And
Are the boys popular? Are they having a good life? Do
they,
you feel
they are happy.
they have
They're great
friends?
musicians. my 11-year-old, I mean, he idolizes Slash.
Right.
He's great on the guitar. And my 15-year-old plays drums like John Bonham.
You're a singer. Do you ever jam with them? Do you ever?
Yeah, we do a lot. I was just in Vegas recently, and they would do the weekends with me.
They come up on stage with you?
Yeah. My kid, 15 years old, he's only playing drums all alone, behind the curtain. I'd introduce him, one of America's up-and-coming drummers, my son,
Right.
And he went into a drum solo that if you saw it, you go, when did this kid start playing?
Really?
The only thing is, you'd be amazed, he's 6'1.5" already.
You're
Wow.
And he's only
Wow.
15.
No
Yeah.
kidding.
But
Is he getting laid, or is it too young?
He wants to.
He wants to get laid.
Yeah, he's a handsome kid.
Have you given him sexual
he looks
advice?
like me.
Yeah.
Oh, Artie! Hey, Artie, what are you doing over there? I heard your little impression.
It's not an impression.
Get the fuck over here now. Oh! So I got my chick balls deep.
What?
That's Dice 88. You got to get Dice 2006, my
Dude,
friend.
I heard your new shit. I love it.
You don't do
Florentine
anymore?
plays it for
No,
me.
you don't do that anymore? Oh.
Florentine will be with me this weekend.
Oh, he will?
Yeah,
a good
he's the
guy,
greatest.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Do you? The boys.
The
Did
boys
you give them sex advice? Are you the kind of father would
Yeah,
say, look,
no,
Have you had
see-
to talk with
yeah.
your 15-year-old?
Oh, please.
did you say to your son,
Please,
look,
I said, look.
I saw
First,
the
you rub
older
your
son.
cock against the clit a little, just to get a home.
Why? That's
No, would
that's
I
good
say
advice.
that?
Come on.
Kid's 15.
Would I say that? Please, no, I don't say it. No, but the thing is,
When you tell your boy
Dad-
to rub your cock against the clit, does he understand that you're just trying to help?
Where's the
yeah, and I
clip?
said, then you just put the head in,
Yeah.
because any further might cause discomfort. It's
true.
You know that, right, Artie?
It's good advice.
No, I give him advice.
My old man told me that.
No, because I told him, when was it, a week ago? I said, Max, let's say you're going to bang a chick a week from today.
Right.
It could happen, right?
Right.
I go, now, I don't know about you, but I start jerking off this morning. Because it's all about the prep work. You know what I mean?
You don't want to shoot
So by
off
the
too
time
fast.
you get in bed with the chick, you're prepared. You're a soldier.
Right.
You don't shut the lights. You say, you look at me when I bang you. Look at my form. I'm on my toes. I shaved my balls for this.
Now, this conversation's with the 11-year-old or the 15-year-old?
No, I'm kidding around. I'm just giving a little comment. We've been talking.
I understand. Let's say hello. Can we say hello to a few people? Are you going to
Is that
feel that
okay?
I'm
You know
weak
what?
in some way?
Today is us.
Today's
Let's keep
just-
today's
Wait a minute,
us
Howard.
because
How
Right.
long have we been going without a break? Do you need to break?
We've gone 2.5 hours.
Jeez.
Have we
Wait,
really?
so,
No,
so
we've
in other
probably
words,
gone about an
so
hour
in
and a
other
half.
words,
Wow.
Chauncey really said something to you, and
No,
it got out of line.
so by me wait a minute, by me calling to Gary, see, that's my way. I don't know how you did, but that was my, see, that's why I didn't even want to really go through the whole fight.
Right.
You know, I mean, I hope you don't have hard feelings, but I don't. You know, and that's
Well,
why
I
I
gotta
called him,
say-
and I was very, I was sincere with the guy. I said, look, when am I going to call Hal? When we're in an old age home?
Right.
How long am I going to wait
I'm going to
already?
tell you something. I don't think it is an easy thing for anyone, especially a guy who's had tremendous success and stuff, to pick up the phone and call and say, hey, look, this is silly. We were friends. We want to, get together. Bad things were said on both parts. I said lots of bad stuff about you. You said lots of bad stuff about me. I understand that, and that's the way it goes when you're in a feud, and it certainly happened with other people. But you came in here today. You explained yourself to me. I explained myself to you. I don't have any bad feeling. I mean, look, do I trust? Is it the same situation as it was 10 years ago that we
you wanna
had?
know something?
I don't know if it'll ever be the same.
You want to
Dice.
know something?
I'll
You
be
know
honest with
damn
you.
well it picked up right where it was.
Yeah, there was
You know what I mean?
it was
I mean,
great
I'm
seeing
not-
you. It was a
but
great appearance.
The only difference is, I've been listening to you. You haven't seen me. I've been out of it. You know
Right,
what I mean?
right, yeah.
So I know that. But, yeah,
I
to
will
me...
always have a great deal of affection for
No,
you.
but I heard
And
a lot
same
of
here.
what you were going through, and, even
Will
when you,
we go house hunting again? That's the
Oh, my
question.
God.
You know what?
That ain't happening.
Don't give him your number.
You both have homes at this point you're happy with, right?
Yeah, I like my house, and you like your house. Go ahead, Sal. You wanted to say something to Andrew Dice Clay.
Big fan, Dice. Honored to have you here. Quick question. You crying on the Arsenio Hall show, do you think that hurt your career? Because that seemed to be a reoccurring joke for a long time.
You know what that was? That was an actual moment. I mean, to say you crying, the people that didn't see it go, what was he crying over? What happened was, I personally, I'm somebody that doesn't hide my emotions. And I was actually so thrilled at that moment in my life that the next day I had my first starring role in a film opening, which I got screwed because I knew there was no premiere anymore. I knew they were pulling this movie. but I took it to the level where I'm going, you know, I really took myself somewhere. And what I wanted to do, because every time I would be on Arsenio or any talk show, I was always like on trial for what I do as a comic. So it was always like, who's Andrew Dice Clay? So I just wanted to get up and tell all the people watching, because I have millions of fans watching. I wanted to tell them how I actually felt about, you know, the accomplishment I made, and that tomorrow when this movie opens, I really get to I love to make people laugh.
Some people, I guess, Dice, thought it was a miscalculation.
It was,
in the sense
if you
that,
listen to the words, if you play it, I mean, I got choked up.
Yeah. Right.
And the only way, I couldn't even believe it, because I just shed my skin. I was like, fuck this. I want to tell people.
Do you regret it?
No, I don't regret it. You know, I got lots of letters about, you know, how people heard the words. They heard what I was saying to them.
Right.
But the only way to get out of it, because I did get emotional, is to, you know, do the cigarette around the head.
Right.
You know, because I was really, I can't believe I'm choking up on this.
Right.
But I was just trying to, like, if I was just talking to you in a room, I'd say, Howard, I broke my fucking ass, and now tomorrow I got my first movie coming out from 20th Century Fox, you know, which a week after it came out, they pulled.
What was the movie?
Ford Failing.
Yeah.
I love
and the
that
movie, I
It's
wrote
funny,
in my book the whole thing, what went on then, how I was called into a room with Barry Diller, and they said, look, we're going to pay you off on your movie contract. They basically told me, you're too controversial for us to handle. And they paid me off. And they said, look, you got a great career. You're doing concerts.
What
you
is
sell
it, Richard? Go ahead.
I got a quick question. My favorite comedy album of all time is Day the Laughter Died Part 2. I was always wondering the story behind that. Did you go in unannounced into this club? Because the crowd seems really hostile, and at the end you get in a fight with a guy.
Well, that's what he like. That's why he explained. That's what he likes doing.
That's what I said.
Listen.
I have,
All
you
right,
know.
Look, listen, we've gone for an hour and a half.
Okay.
This to me was a very, very healthy reunion, I think.
Yes, it was.
On my part. Robin, do you agree?
I agree.
I think it's great to see you again. It felt good when you walked in the room. I certainly missed you, and I missed our relationship and our friendship. You came in here, you explained yourself. I don't know, it just seemed very natural to me, and I think this was really good. Let's go around the room.
I don't know who that guy was who came in the last time we saw you, but this is the Andrew Dice Clay that we always knew.
No, well, you know what? Everybody goes through shit. That's what it's about.
All
you
right,
know what
listen,
I mean?
I'm glad you made the phone call to Gary, and you were more of a man than I was. I was not going to pick up the phone and call. You did, and I think that's great.
You know what? It's okay. That's what it is.
I'm glad you did it, and I thank you for doing that. Fred, how do you feel right now?
I think it's great. I think it's great that Dice is back in the limelight, too. There's a guy, his career kind of got cut short with all that bullshit, like with SNL and all that stuff.